Hey everyone, and welcome to the Sam Dever Podcast, Episode 9. In this episode, I talked to my good friend Julian Peled. I met Julian here in Los Angeles a few years ago at the acting school Playhouse West, and Julian was one of those individuals that I connected with right away. Super nice guy, amazing talented actor, and just an overall great person to know. Julian recently moved to Austin, Texas area, so it was nice to catch up with him and continue on conversations that him and I usually have, but this time we recorded it. And the book of the episode, Julian actually mentions this book. It's called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. If you've heard of David Goggins, he's a former Navy SEAL who, when I say goes to the extreme, would be an understatement. He really has become a master of breaking past the barriers of limitations in your mind and physical pain. And my good friend Mark had given me this book. Thank you, Mark. And I can't say enough about it. I mean, it's a great, fun read and inspirational, and really makes you think, there's some things I can push through that I've been limiting myself with. So Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And without further ado, here is my conversation with Julian. I think now...
Yeah, I think it's recording.
I think it's recording. I think you're now officially on the Sam Dever Podcast, my friend.
Hello, Mr. Dever.
Hello, Mr. Julian Peled. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm blown away at the awesome headset you have.
Thank you, man. It's Razer something Black Shark. I don't know. Amazon. It's pretty good headset. It's not expensive. It's like $30-$40 for a decent headset. Good audio. Good. Do you hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you really well.
That's great.
You're probably going to end up having better audio than I have on this. So that is amazing. Have you used it a lot, or is this one of those things you're whipping out for the first time?
No, I've been using it for a month and a half now.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a gamer. I just like wearing headphones when I'm on the computer. It's like, you feel like in it, like the outside world is like quiet. It's like closing the door when you're going into a room. It's what I feel. It's like more quiet. Sometimes I just put it on and I don't listen to anything. Just put it on.
Just start walking around the neighborhood with that on. Do not disturb.
Oh, no, when I'm with the computer.
Oh, at the computer.
The wire. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
So that leads us to, you're in Austin now.
Yeah, man. Moved to Austin in July. I like it. I'm next to Austin. I'm in a place called Georgetown, suburb. It's like 45 minutes. If there's traffic, which is not really traffic, people say, oh my God, Austin's traffic is crazy. After you drive in LA, nothing is crazy anymore.
405, 101, the 5. It's
405 is a parking lot, man.
Do you miss that commute?
I like the 405. I like driving there. It's a beautiful road. I didn't like the 101 at all. 405 was nice. But I mean, I like driving. I didn't mind, just as long as I have my coffee and some good music, I'm good. Unless I'm in a hurry and it sucks.
So you moved to, and I agree with you on the 405. Well, it just depends. Like, there's sometimes when you're driving in the traffic, but I feel in LA you just get used to it. Like for me, I had to go to Torrance the other day to take the 405, and it was at the right time where it wasn't like early morning or afternoon rush hour. 40-minute drive, and like 40-minute drive, I don't even think twice about anymore. Like it doesn't even phase me when I go, oh, it's
Right.
40 minutes. Okay, yeah, no
That's
problem.
fine.
Like that's what 10 minutes used to be to me. It's like
Right.
40 minutes. With the 405, it is a nice drive. And I feel even though it does get backed up and it's lots of traffic, if it's not rush hour, it can be busy, but it still moves at a decent pace, if that makes sense. Like you're
Yeah.
still, but
That's how Austin here, like the 35.
mm,
That's the number. But it can be a slow ride, but it's not like you're not standing in place and wait. It's crazy. Um, but Austin, they're expanding. I mean, there's always a construction site anywhere you go. They're just expanding the road, and they didn't prepare for this big move. A lot of people are moving.
so didn't you tell me you went to I can't remember if it was a furniture store, an appliance store,
I went
and
to a
the person
furniture
told you,
store.
yeah, tell us what the person told you about
Well,
California people moving
I
there.
went I went to a furniture store, and they told me I was getting like a couch and um and a dining set and another thing, and they told me I ordered it in mid-July, right? And they told me, so you're gonna get half of the couch in August and the rest in September. Uh, so you're
Half a
gonna
couch.
half a couch, so you'll have somewhere to sit until you wait for the other furniture. I was like, really? That's weird. They said, yeah, there's a lot of people moving in, and they order a lot of furniture, so we're out of stock. I was like, okay, so I waited, and I waited till the end of August. And I didn't get my half couch, right? So I called. I had to go to the store, and I asked to cancel it because they told me it's gonna arrive in October now. So I went to the store and I canceled it, and I said, "Oh, what's going on, man? Like, what's going on with the furniture or So he said that so many people are moving with from California with no furnitures, and they order everything. So many people, and I asked them why are they moving with no furniture? I mean, I get it. I moved without furniture because it's cheaper
Mhm.
instead of just getting a U-Haul and stuff like that. But he said you should fact check. I didn't fact check it, but he said that the governor uh, put a he increased somehow increased the prices of U-Haul,
Mm.
so people just sell their furnitures in California and move without furnitures, or they'll go to Arizona, get a U-Haul there, go back to California, get their furnitures, and go to Texas instead of getting U-Haul in California. Not sure. That's what he said, but yeah, check it out, guys.
Either where's my fact checker?
Where's your Jamie?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, either way, I mean, tons of people are moving there.
Yep, yep.
Either way you look at it. And so, could you maybe take us through a little bit um, not only what is it like there now, but what kind of inspired your move? Why did you want, or why did you decide to make the move from Los
Um,
Angeles to Texas?
well, honestly, when COVID hit, I had uh, just a time to think and quiet from the chaos, work and school and rehearsals and stuff and this and that. And I just thought, and I said, okay, California is pretty expensive. And after COVID is gonna end, I mean, at that time we thought it's gonna be like a 2 weeks thing or month tops,
Mhm.
right? Said, okay, so what's my next move after COVID stops and I'm going back to just live? I'm not going to continue like this because it was too much stress and everything. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll move. So at that time, I searched for the best places for actors. Um, and New York came up, Chicago, Austin. Austin was number three. I think it was New York, LA, and Austin, and then
Hmm.
Chicago and all the rest. And I said, okay, I'll think about Austin. Maybe Austin sounds good. And then when Joe Rogan moved, we talked about
Yeah.
it's like our good friend has left us. Even though we didn't
Guy
know
I've never
him,
met before.
never met before, but it felt like his energy just left
Yeah.
to Austin. And, it's like he was talking good things about Austin. He loved it. Also, everything was open at that time in LA. It was still closed. And I said, and also it's cheaper. Prices are when I went to visit, I went to like a weekend to visit there, um, and like, gas prices were less than $2 a gallon.
Huh.
I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, you can go to a restaurant and the most expensive thing would be $10 or something like that. So I just moved. Yeah, I didn't think twice. And to be honest, most of my gut feeling decisions turn out to be right. Like
Mm.
the most sharp turns I took in life with with you know with the minimum amount of thinking and the maximum amount of like feeling and gut feeling and just jumping on the opportunity. The mo there were the most um, impactful decisions, you know,
Mm.
like moving to LA from Israel or moving or changing, um, you know, starting in the stock market, which we can talk about it later, but or moving to Austin,
Yeah. So what is it like there so far? How are you? What is it about Austin besides the gas prices and the menu, as in terms of like
food, man.
maybe the energy of the city, the people
The
compared to
energy, the
LA?
people, it's a slower pace. It's
Mm.
chill. You're not feel in a hurry. Everybody is just nice. Hello, hey, you can walk. I was walking the neighborhood and someone across the street I never saw before. He was walking his dog and he said, "Hey, hello, how's it going?" Like, whoa, like he's far.
Ah,
It's not like we had eye contact. And I said, "Hi," I was like, "Hey, hello, how's it going?" And it was nice. And I had to get used to it. Look at people like when people walk in front of you, "Hey, how's it going? How's your day?" And just you know because in LA I don't feel it happens too often. People are just minding their own business, or you have eye contact, or you kind of walk. Sometimes you like smile, you know uh yeah, but the people, um it's it's very clean. The air
mm,
is very clean. um the sky are like really strong blue. It's beautiful here. Everything's green. It's super hot. It's humid. You get sweaty and sticky, but that's fine. I mean, that's okay with me.
you even were video chatting with me one day, showing me your neighborhood, and just looked so peaceful and spread out, and
Yeah, it's quiet.
you don't have to worry about cars flying by 24/7.
Yeah, ambulance, police,
Helicopters,
helicopters.
all the good LA stuff.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, no, and I was happy for you, man. I was really happy when,
thanks, man.
yeah, because I myself have moved to a few different cities since the place I grew up in Illinois, and it's a great experience. And I encourage people, if they want to go try a new city and nothing's holding you back,
Mm,
go try it. Go meet new people. Go experience new things. You can always move back to wherever you leave too.
yeah,
That's what someone told me. They gave me the advice. They said you can always move back. So I applaud you for taking that leap and
thanks,
trying
man.
something
Appreciate
new.
it. Thank
And
you. Thank you.
I'm excited to visit one day.
Yeah, we'll go eat some good barbecue.
Uh, I went to Austin over 10 years ago, and one place that sticks out in my mind, Salt Lick Barbecue. that's over there. It's
I
like
haven't tried it yet.
I can't remember where it's at outside of Austin, but it's like out in the middle of the country, and there's just literally just barbecue pits all over the place with just meat cooking everywhere, and you get a ton of food, and it was beautiful.
Mm. I'll have to try it. I
Yeah,
haven't
I
went
mean,
there yet.
one thing I definitely wanted to talk about with you too was one thing I always forget with you, is that you grew up in another country.
Mm.
I remember having conversations with you, and you'll mention something, like, "Hey, what's this word in English?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, it's this." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forget. This isn't his first language. Like he speaks an entirely different language first before this one, and
Yeah.
you speak English so well, and so I forget."
Thanks, man.
Um, so what was it like growing up in Israel?
Man, I loved it. I loved it. It's such a small place, and because like it's a melting pot, right?
Mm,
But everybody's under the same category, like Jewish, right?
mhm,
Jewish state. But you have, people from Morocco, from Poland, from Yemen, from so many places, Russia, Ethiopia, um, and and it's cool because you feel so united sometimes, when there's something crazy happen or something like that. So everybody's getting together. You feel so united. Um, but I I really liked it. I really liked growing up there. I moved there from LA when I was 3 with my
mm,
family.
mhm.
So at first I didn't know Hebrew, just very, very little. I knew only English when I was 3. And then I gonna kind of, improving my Hebrew and till I knew like fluent Hebrew, and my English kind of I left it aside a little bit. So but I'm really happy I went there. I have some amazing friends out in Israel, like really for life, man. Like these friends are family, man. And I have family and sisters back in Israel. But I think, like for me, I feel uh, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a feeling that if it feels like home, Israel is home. It's like I don't know how you feel uh, about your where you grew up, but it always feel like you cannot feel like that anywhere else in the world but in
Mm,
Israel. It's
mm.
it's a feeling, and everybody from Israel will agree with me. It's like there's no place like Israel. It's that feeling, like a home feeling.
I back when I was this is when I was in Vegas, somewhat involved in the tech scene. Um, I had heard that Israel was a huge technological city.
Oh
Like there
yeah.
was a lot of like tech startups, and I had no idea. I'm like, Israel, really? They're like, yeah, no, there's a lot of tech that comes out of there.
Dude, people think Israel is like a desert with camels.
Right. But no, then you Google it
Yeah.
and you're like, oh no, Israel's like this full blown cities and
Yeah.
everything, very technologically advanced everywhere.
Yeah. Like, dude, have you seen the Iron Dome in action?
Uh-uh.
You know what's the Iron Dome?
What's that?
It's like a battery of missiles, and um, it takes down missiles in the air. So let's say um, uh, Hamas or something like that, terrorists are shooting missiles into Israel. Iron Dome would hit the missile in midair.
Really?
It doesn't hit people. It doesn't kill anyone. It just hit the missiles in the air. It's like an umbrella. It's
Whoa,
crazy.
that's nuts. And you
It's
were in
crazy
the
technology.
military, right?
Yes, I was in the Air Force. I was it's called NDT, non-destructive tests. which means I had to find cracks in airplanes. Um, so because of the pressure, the flight, and everything, um, there are cracks that are emerging beneath the surface sometimes, and my job was to find them before they would get too big and break.
How many years did you do that for?
I was 3 years in the army, but uh, I was doing NDT for maybe 2 years because first you got to go through training and stuff like that.
So what was that
Two and a
experience
half years.
like? I mean,
I
that's a good
loved
chunk
it.
of time. That's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it. I joined late. Usually you join when you were 18,
Mhm.
but I joined when I was 20 because I broke my wrist doing Krav Maga and I had to do surgery and then when I got healthy and everything, I joined when I was 20. Um, and I think it made me more mature in a lot of ways. It made me just take responsibility. And I mean, in that age, you're doing something impactful, something that is, even though you have to do it, but you got to look at it as, okay, this is my job now, and it's important. Because it's mandatory in Israel, so some people are going to the army and doing it and feel, okay, I'll just do it and whatever. I'll just finish it, do 3 years, and I'll do my duty and that's it. Um, but some people are looking at it in a way of, okay, that's my chance to improve myself in, I don't know, whatever you want to improve. If it's time, like time is very important in the army. You cannot be late. Um, or taking control or taking responsibility or whatever it is.
So it installs good work ethic and principles, really.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know what the US would be like if that was mandatory here. If you had to serve, what was it? What did you have to serve? What was the year minimum you had to serve?
You have to serve for 3 years and 2 years for women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Now
wonder.
I think they changed it. They reduced it a little bit. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm sure it would be something that I'm just curious as a society here if people would think a little differently if they went and had that type of experience, in
Mm.
terms of work ethic and maybe more respect and appreciation for things, lack of entitlement. I don't know. I'm just curious.
I think though in America, because it's not mandatory, people can go to focus on themselves, but to impact society. For example, entrepreneurs, they can focus on. I mean, you guys go to university and college in pretty young age, right? It's
Yeah,
like
18.
18. That's difficult. Just finish high school, bam, going to university. It's not easy, and it's super expensive.
So do you guys
Um,
go to the military, then go to university? Is that how it works?
yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. Most people do a trip. I did a trip. I finished my service and I traveled South America for 6 months, 5 months, almost 6 months from Argentina to Mexico. So most people do that, and then just to they did 3 years in the army. Okay, now it's time to travel. Now just let loose, just see the world, travel, breathe a little bit, and then come back, and then let's go study, which I
Man,
think
what,
is very important.
that just seems like a more balanced way to do it. Now that I think about it, yeah, I would have approached school and so many things differently if I would have done them later in life. But it
Yeah,
sounds like, yeah, you go to the military, you get grounded, maybe, I don't know what the
you
right
get
word would be.
mature too because
Maturity. Yeah, it gives you a chance to mature instead of going straight to
yeah,
college and getting drunk, blackout drunk every night.
I mean, when you go to college when you're 18, you don't really want to study, man. It's
No, not at all.
early. It's too early. You can go to college when I mean, going to college or university when you're 23 or
Mhm.
21, 22 is like, okay, I had my break there. I lived my life, or I not live my life, but maybe I took advantage of my youth, and now I'm gonna study, which is, again, if it's what you want to do. But if you go study because that's what everybody else do, so, you know, maybe I don't know. I don't believe you should go to university or college because everybody's doing it, because you can end up in a, you know, in 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 a not happy life
With tons of
and
debt.
debt. Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy to me because you can you will take student loan and you'll pour so much time and money for 3 4 years, get your degree, and then finish it, and then struggle to find a job, or maybe you did find a job and you don't really like it, but you do it because it pays well. So you wasted your time, you you're in debt, but you still didn't you weren't afraid to do it because everybody else do it. But
Mm.
people are afraid to put $500,000 in the stock market, which is like, why are you afraid to put some money in the stock market and afraid to lose it? But you will take a loan and you'll study for 4 years, waste your time or not. I mean, some people just really want to do it, but then go into debt, work, don't like your job, and that's it, you know?
Well,
Why isn't
leading.
that like scare you, but this does, you know?
So transitioning now, and dude, I'm realizing as we're talking, I'm like, God, there's so many things we could talk. I may have to go make another tea. Um, you are into the stock market. Let's transition there. What got you into the stock market? And that stock market's something I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I know about it. I have been involved a long time ago, but I really don't know anything about it now and today. So tell me, Julian, tell me about the stock market. And
Well,
what drew you to it? Like, what drew you to getting involved in it?
honestly, again, when COVID hit and all the chaos of life kind of went away, and it was time to think, I thought, what's important to me?
Mm,
What do I want? I want time. I don't want to work for anyone. I want to make a decent living. I don't want to be, filthy rich, but I want to be comfortable. I want to have the opportunity to visit my family and friends, um, and not having to ask for, time off or anything. Um, and my friend actually told me, why don't you go to stock market and learn how to trade or invest? And it was, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? This sounds pretty good, because when you get good at it, it gives you all these things. It gives me all these things that I want in life: time, money, and freedom. Um, so I met someone when I was working at the bar in Israel, and we became like Facebook friends. And I remember he told me he's a day trader. So I texted him I DM him on Facebook, and I did his course. His name is I'll say it in Hebrew, Dol Chevroni, D Trade. Uh, Amazing, amazing course. He's an amazing mentor, amazing teacher. It's in Hebrew. So hey, if you guys want to do that course, you gotta learn the Hebrew first.
mm,
But I studied and I practiced for a year, and yeah, I'm just starting, man. Like it takes a long time to be good at it.
Yeah, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's just gambling." When no, it's like if you know what you're
Yeah,
doing. Because I have some friends that are involved. Like it's not like a guessing game. It's like no, there's strategies and
it's a probability game.
probability.
So there's no 100%,
Right.
but you can try to make a trade which is 90% successful. You may fall in the 10%, but you trying to look at indicators and look at the charts and news and everything, and reduce or expand the success rate to your favor and then do the trade. So it's all probability. It's not gambling, you know. There's a lot of thought and strategy behind it.
Yeah, and I can't remember where I had listened or read this, and I'm getting into a realm I know nothing about, so I'm probably going to butcher what I'm about to say. But when someone that was involved in finance in the stock market, when he said like when people criticize, why would you waste your money in the stock market or this, that, and the other, he brought up this point. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he said if you look at the history of the stock market, it always goes back up. Always. Yes, it will crash. Yes, it goes down. But in the end, it will always go back.
Yeah,
Meaning,
that's where people get rich though,
right.
after the crash. When it crashes, people buy low, and then because they know it'll go back up again.
Buy low,
Um,
sell high, right?
Buy low, sell high, and there's um, I don't know how to pronounce his name in English, but Rothschild, Rothschild,
Oh, Rothschild.
Rothschild.
Mhm.
In Hebrew, it's Rothschild. He said, um, "When there's blood in the street, buy, even if the blood is yours."
Jesus.
Yeah, it's hey, not a recommendation. You guys do your own due diligence and you know, buy whenever you think it's a good time. But you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to study. It's a lot of psychology. A
Hmm.
lot.
You look at it like a lot of different. I know Warren, but I actually got it behind me. This isn't going to be the book of the episode, although maybe it's Warren Buffett, The Snowball Effect.
Uh,
Uh,
I
shoot, I
haven't
was
read
going to
it
make
yet.
a point, but I spent my time reaching for the book and I forgot what we were saying.
buy, buy low, sell high.
Wow, this is terrible. Because you triggered something I read in that book.
Do your due
Oh,
diligence.
oh, yes, yes, yes. Because Warren Buffett is known for buying companies.
Yeah.
Like because one of them I know he bought was, I believe it was Geico. I think. I'm going to be butchering all this stuff, but he bought them way, way back then. They're obviously extremely successful now.
Mm.
So I guess my question is, do you spend time researching up and coming companies
Not
to see who could
necessarily,
be a big winner?
unless you're investing. When you're day trading, it's mostly technical analysis.
Okay, so that's really what's the difference? I guess what's the
So
difference?
day trading, you buy and sell, or sell and buy in the same day.
Oh,
When it's after, if you hold the stock more than one day and less than a year, it's swing trading. So you buy now and you'll sell in a week, 2 weeks, months, 3 months. More than a year, it's investing. So swing trading in a year and investing, then you need to do, okay, you need to read about the company and see the potential and everything. But day trading, it's only not only but mostly technical analysis. So and psychology. So you need to find, man, that's a lot. You need to find like when the stock goes down, you need to find when the sellers are getting weaker and the buyers are getting in, and just ride the wave up.
wow, this is amazing. You really legitimately just taught me something right here live.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking you were investing just in stocks for maybe the long term. But you're saying day trading's now. I never really looked into what quote unquote day trading. So day trading, you're doing it all in that day. You're either buying or selling that day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see how that's a completely different ball game.
It's very quick. You can make a deal in 10 seconds. You can buy and sell in 10 seconds or less.
Wow.
Yeah, it can be, and sometimes an hour. It really depends on the opportunity, but also how the risk management, because the risk management is everything. Because if you're not managing your risk well, you can lose a lot, or or um, or not you can lose a lot, but also not gain what you could have gained.
Mm.
You know, you didn't get all the potential out of this deal.
And you can do that all online. You don't have to be in New York of one of those guys, buy, sell on the floor.
Yeah, dude, everything is online now.
Yeah.
Everything. Work from home now. Everybody's working from home. Everything, man. You can sit in your couch and have you seen Ronnie? I think his name is Ronnie Chang. He's a stand-up comedian. He was talking about Amazon Prime.
Oh
He's
God, I
like,
use that way too much.
dude, he's really funny. Ronnie Chang on Netflix. He said that he was talking about how people want things faster, right? So there was Amazon, and then you could buy and get your item in a week. In a week or in 2 days. 2 days? 2 days is slow. I want it right now. Now. So then you have like, okay, Amazon Prime. You don't have to pay for delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And you can order, he says, you can order one pen from your home. One pen. And you'll get this pen to your home the next day. But then you have Amazon Now. I want it now. Like, it's not enough. He's really funny. He was talking about how people want more and more and more,
Yeah.
and faster and quicker and harder and everything. It's like now.
And I'll admit, especially having an injury like I did, it was a blessing, Amazon Prime, because
Of course.
it used to be. I don't know if he started with books on Amazon or whatever they started selling a lot of first, but I mean, dude, there's pretty much everything on there. Like almost everything you can get.
Okay.
There's sometimes I've typed it. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna have this. Boom. They got this, and this, and oh, guess what? Yeah, you'll have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, well, shoot, that just saved me a trip to wherever.
Yeah, dude. Everything. I think a lot of, especially because of COVID, people are moving online. If it's the supermarkets, or you can do like a Fiverr. You don't have to meet even with the person. You need a writer to write your script.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, you send them the information, and they'll write you a script. Graphic designer, no problem. You don't need to leave your home. Dating, nothing.
That was on the list. We're getting to that.
Yeah, you don't need to do any. You don't have to leave your home. It's crazy.
Yeah, and there's good. I think there's pros and cons to that. I think there's a lot of pros, but then also there is something to be said. Like, for example, I went to Vegas last week, and I went to the Nike outlet store, got a new thing, and it was my first time shopping for clothes, and I don't know how long. Because A, I've been injured and not thinking about that, or B, if I needed something, I would order it just offline. And there is something to be said. It is an enjoyable experience to like go in person, look at the clothes yourself, go to the dressing room, try it on. But the thing is, I know my sizes, and once you know your sizes, especially with a certain brand. Well, just click, click.
Yeah.
It's here.
And if you
So
don't like it, you can send it back, no problem.
yeah. Yeah. Two places where a majority of my money goes, and they both go to Jeff Bezos, is Whole Foods and Amazon, which he owns both.
Bezos.
Well, and leading to another topic I wanted to discuss with you, and I guess I will put myself out there first. After about a year hiatus, I would say, I re-downloaded the dating apps. Why? That is a whole other podcast, but it's been interesting. And this is a topic you and I have been talking about for a while, not just like dating apps, but just dating in general. Um, I don't know, man. I'm back on them and I'm trying to have an open mind. Like I'm trying to not put too much of my mind into it, but at the same time still put in an effort, because I realize you have to put in an effort. That's one thing about those apps I realize. Like if you're not going to put any effort in, then well, it's not really going to do anything and you're just purely wasting your time. But then when you do put effort in, you end up having these just ridiculously long conversations going on that are endless. And eventually, if you guys aren't going to meet up, it just doesn't go anywhere. And you just spend all this time. There's nothing wrong with connecting.
You got to meet up quick.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword, because there's a lot of opportunities to meet, uh, great people, but it can be like a trap like a dopamine trap. Like people are addicted to getting match with someone and not really meet them. So it's like, okay, I matched with someone, let's keep going. Oh, I matched with another one, let's keep going. And then it doesn't end. And then it's just a waste of time.
It's like Instagram likes.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. Like, how good's my post do?
Yeah, but I think it's just easy, and just instead of just going fishing, you can just go to the supermarket. It's just easy. You go and you just sit at home. It's like, again, it's like instead of going to and especially in COVID, where I don't now things are getting open again, hopefully, but you couldn't go out anywhere. So it's like, okay, I'll search in the apps, and it can be super easy. You don't need to do anything, honestly. You just swipe and then talk.
And see, and
sorry, but you don't have the fear of getting like no, being
fear of rejection.
What's the word? Yeah, rejection. Yeah.
And if you do, it's rejection on a phone, not face to face in person.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't care. Nah.
Jordan Peterson, which thank you again for, it was actually a couple episodes ago, the 12 Rules for Life book you gave me. Jordan Peterson, I've watched him in other interviews saying how it's good to like get used to that in-person rejection. And like once you get over that, you're going to have no problem at all approaching women or whoever. And I agree with that. But it's still like, I feel like, especially here in LA, it's just bizarre, man. Like, I don't know how to describe. Plus, everyone has masks on, and don't get too close to me anyway, stranger. I don't know who you are, type of thing. So I don't know if it's like a cultural climate. I don't know if Texas is way more friendlier if people just go up to people and start talking to them.
It's definitely friendlier because you can just say hi, and nobody would look at you like in a weird way. Oh, hey. Why is he saying hi to me? Do I know him? It's like, no, it's just friendly, People in LA, I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the I don't know why it's like that in LA or anywhere else. It feels like people have their own circle of friends, and once they have the circle of friends, they don't really want to know other people. It's like
Mm,
I have
no,
my
totally.
friends, I have my circle, and if they meet someone, it's through a mutual friend. So it's like more comfortable. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe it's all the all the celebrity wanting to be celebrity actors, models, musicians. Maybe it's that. I don't know. Maybe they're too focused on that, and I don't know. I honestly don't know, man.
yeah, that's what I was talking with Daniel Silva about when we were talking. Yeah, in like places like LA, like people are trying to quote unquote become somebody, climb some ladder, or more of like what they may be viewing you as, like what can this person do for me, as opposed to uh, maybe this is just a cool person to know as a friend or whatever. And with the apps,
Mm.
going back to the apps, and I know this getting on it, like I know this, and I am just as guilty as anyone else on there, but I think it's important to quote like know what you're looking for or what you like, but I feel the apps leave out any room for getting to know someone a little bit different to you, meaning like these checklists, like especially when a girl's like, you must be over 6 feet tall. You must be, if you're this political party, swipe left. If you believe in this, swipe left. Only swipe right if you're this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I guess that
Must
saves
have
time.
dogs.
Huh?
Must
Must love dogs.
must love or have a dog, or I don't know.
Yeah. And it's like, and then a lot of them too are, I'm speaking from a guy's perspective, like, get ready to travel or get ready to do this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, who's paying for that? Like, it's like, I just want to, I want to take this from offline to in person, because when you're in person with someone, you get to feel their energy. You get to communicate with them. And maybe some of these people that you automatically swipe left on, maybe if you met them in person and got to know them as people, instead of these illusion, what you have in your mind of what you think you're entitled to or want, you might be more open to dating some of these people. So I mean, it's just a weird, I'm not saying
But
it.
also, if you look at it like from their perspective,
Mm-hmm.
how many just weirdos are there? Like
Probably quite a few.
weird guys, just weird, being weird. It can be it can be scared, you know, S- scary. It can be scary. Um, but so maybe they also they use the apps with kind of some sort of um a point of view in mind of like this app is just for when I'm bored, you know. I'm not using it for a purpose to meet someone, you know. Because when do you download them? When you're bored. You don't really like, okay, I'm going to meet someone. Let's use the apps. It's or maybe, I don't know. Everybody has their own reasons, um, but th- they can be, uh, you know, a good opportunity as well. I know some people who met through apps.
Yeah, I know people who are married and have kids that met through apps.
Yeah,
So I'm glad you said that, because you're right. Like, not everyone, and that's what's hard. Excuse me. That's what's hard about it is some people are on there and they're on a mission to get married. Like that's they're taking in like those type. Not to say I wouldn't
especially
be.
women, man.
Yeah, and I
Like,
don't.
cause they're
Yeah.
they can get to like a certain age, which is like, okay, you know.
And I've learned not to waste people's time either, especially if we're having a good conversation. But maybe a phase I'm in, it's not that I would be opposed to marriage one day with the right person, but see, that's another thing. Like, I think, and this is just all my perspective, I think it's cool to know that's what you want eventually, but I feel like there's this unwanted pressure or unneeded pressure when you're coming out with that right off the gate. Like, hey, if you're not taking this seriously, don't waste my time. It's okay, I don't want to waste your time, but hey, can we have a cup of coffee first? Can we go on a walk? Can we have a conversation on the phone for a second before we, like,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, man. So I guess, yeah, there's really no, when we could babble about this, it's just very interesting. And someone told me this a long time ago, and I'm trying to have this perspective on it. He said, like, online dating is like part of your marketing plan. It's like having a billboard. It brings
Uh-huh.
in some of your business, but it's not all of it. And I'm not saying this to say you want to go date 1,000 people, but it's one outlet. But another outlet's going out in person, or maybe it's something else, or a thing, a class you go to, a yoga class, or going to the gym, the supermarket, anything. Don't put all your eggs in the online dating basket, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like that's just another
Yeah.
way you try to meet people, but don't invest all your faith into it.
Imagine dating in like 1930s, 1940s, 40s. It's like if you see a person and you don't say yes or something, or like, okay, let's sit down for coffee or whatever they did, you're not gonna see them again. You don't have a number. You don't have Instagram. Like, what do you have? An address, and you can write a letter, or it's like what? Because now you don't have pressure. I feel like in those days you did have pressure because if you don't agree to get to know that person, you won't see them again.
Right.
So it's like, okay, that it looks like a nice person, or I don't know. That's weird.
It's like, hey, I have a nickel. Let's go to the ice cream parlor and share an ice cream and go to the. I don't know. I'm thinking of what's the movie? The Notebook. When they go to the carnival and well, actually, he tracked her down at the carnival. But yeah, man, it's. I feel too that we think
Bring
that we.
flowers and sing a poem.
Yeah. We all, and I fall guilty of this too, but we live in a world where we think we have unlimited options. Because you'll get a match, it'll be going good. I'm like, oh, this is a decent person. But guess what? Like you said, I agree with you with the dopamine. Hey, guess what? New match. New match comes on. It's like, ooh, shiny object. Or, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
something new, someone new. And then it's an endless cycle. It never stops. So at some point, it's like you do have to, like, hey, okay, like I'm trying to use it as a pure tool, like a pure tool to connect with some cool women and, like, yeah, no, I would definitely be open to meeting in person, but then actually go meeting in person, not living on the app 24/7.
Yeah, but I also think uh, people should put themselves in a certain place where they could meet uh, a person with a mutual interest. For example,
Mm-hmm.
going to a class of some sort, or a course, or um, I don't know, martial arts or whatever, a painting class, or a dog park or whatever. Just put yourself in a position and a place where you could potentially meet a person with the same interests. Because if you just go to a bar and you see a person or girl and you just approach, you don't really. I mean, okay, so it's in a bar, and then I mean, you can meet after, like, you can meet again and for coffee or something. Um, but um, I mean, I can say it with the apps because they have like on the apps like interests. I like dogs. I like hiking. I like this and that. But I feel like in the apps they have room to exaggerate or lie.
Hmm.
I want to seem like I'm adventurous,
Yes.
so I'll just write I like traveling, and I like um, skiing and surfing, even though I did it only once in my life. I have that picture from whatever. I'll just when I was in Peru, I'll just put it up there, and I said I love traveling. I love this and that. I mean, you have room to play with it. Everybody have room to play with it, and I feel like everybody a little bit are, because not everybody think, or I mean, everybody wants to be liked, you
Mm.
know. So everybody a little bit exaggerating a little bit, um, eh, or have room. It's like Instagram. You never post your bad days. You never talk about your challenges. It's like, hey, you know, look at me. You know.
It's funny you say that because on this recent round I've done, usually I put up the best of the best photos, all the photo shoot ones, like all the ones where you're glammed up and dressed real nice and this, that, and the other. And yeah, you'll get lots of matches, but I realize just that's an illusion and that's not my reality right now. Like the reality right now is I grew my hair long. I've been recovering from an injury and I'm taking this one day at a time, and that's really what I portrayed. So I put like just all regular photos of the past, like what I've taken within a month.
Hmm.
None of my old ones, because I'm selling an old version of myself that doesn't even exist anymore. And yeah, you're not going to get as many matches probably, but at least you're up front and you're honest about it. Because it's so funny you say that too about the travel thing. And look, I'm not against travel at all, but geez, man, I go on some of the profiles. They're in France, they're in this, they're in that, and then it says if you don't like travel, you might as well swipe. Dude, I go, all right.
Yeah.
It's like, look, let's travel Southern
I like
California.
traveling, but every now and then, like I like hiking, but not every day or every weekend. Like once, twice a month, it's fine. I like it, but it's like,
And you know what, man? And we're getting to the end here. We could keep going. I kind of have reserved the last statement for the guest. Is there any book you've read lately? Any thought you've been having? Anything you just want to say on anything? It can be inspirational. It can be whatever. Just giving you kind of the last word here.
I guess just don't don't. It's important to be uncomfortable to 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 grow and to just like it's really easy. I'm guilty of it too. Like I'll sometimes I'll think I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I feel like just being comfortable, but you know, just being uncomfortable, even if it's the smallest thing, like do all the things you, not all the things, but do things you don't want to do. And I was reading Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins.
Got it right here. Yeah.
Dude, it's great book, and uh he did things that he didn't want to do at the moment. It's raining outside. I don't want to run. He'll do it. I'm not saying run in the rain, but I'm saying like even Jordan Peterson talks about it. Make your bed. Start with that. Clean your room. If you don't want to do it because it builds momentum. Joe Rogan's he's talking about it a lot. Um, if you feel like you don't want to do things now, just do it because it builds momentum and self-discipline. So that's something I'm working on. Just keep doing things that I want to, what's the word? What's the synonym for postponed?
For what? Procrastinate?
Yeah, procrastinate. Yeah. If I feel like procrastinating, nah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah.
You know, do. I mean, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I really don't want to do things, but then I'll do it. Like then, okay, I'll catch myself, and the next day I'll do those things. You know, you got to keep that momentum. It's fine if you take 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward, but just keep like the stock market. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, but the general trend is upwards. So that's important. Yeah, that's my my inspiration. Inspirations. I don't know.
That was
Something.
beautiful, man. And you picked the book
Hey.
of the episode. Now I have to make David Goggins' book the book of the episode. I think that's a great theme. Thank you so much. So happy for you. So happy for you in your new place. Happy that things are going well.
Hey, thanks, man. You
Grateful
too. I hope you feel better.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're doing good. It's one step at a time, literally. But yeah, this has been a long time coming, doing this podcast. So hopefully be talking to you again soon. Oh, if we could do a quick picture, you could smile.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, man.
Sweet.
Well, take care, my friend. Save some barbecue for me eventually.
Thanks, man.
As I get down there, and if you come out to LA, you always have a couch to crash on if need be.
Hey, thanks, man. You too.
All right, brother. We'll talk again.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.